It's actually embarrassing just to see what Tank chose to do instead of doing what a real fighter should have done. Everybody seen what happened. Everybody seen that Roach deserved to be champion. He should have given him that rematch. That fight is the one that should be happening. There's no way. For me, it's embarrassing just to see that. But I go back to the same thing. It's business. He's making a lot of money. Uh, I have a lot of fighters. I have people involved in boxing that could, I'm one phone call away. But personally, I'm not okay with that fight. I think Tank should be fighting Roach and giving us that fight because that's what we all want to
say. Tank Davis, a man that is a lightweight in boxing. Now, lightweight in MMA is 155 pounds. Lightweight in boxing, 135 pounds. Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds.
Official weight, 227.2 pounds.
That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92 pound weight difference. Almost a 100 pound weight difference. It's insane. Let's say he comes in at 200 pounds. It's still a 65 pound weight advantage, which is absolutely ridiculous. How can you be out there claiming to want to fight the best people on the planet and then going out there and taking on a guy that is maybe 92 pounds heavier, that is at least 65 pounds heavier than you? That is called one thing. That's called being a...
Press conference was a little weird yesterday.
It was all weird.
It was awkward.
Yeah.
Why they got to make it so weird, Jim?
Why do they make it weird, bro? Why are they making it weird all the time? It was strange all the way around.
Yeah.
Who's this appealing to? Who do you think the target market is? Just...
I mean,
freak show.
We're older, so I can't speak on the new generation. Where maybe the Jake Paul stuff does interest them, so obviously it's going to appeal to them. I don't know in what way this appeals as far as that press conference. But
I always said he's looking for fights that were manufactured, looking for fights that were predetermined. And by that, I don't mean fake fights. I don't mean fixed fights. I mean fights where the odds are so stacked in his favor that, of course, he's going to win. And, of course, we see this. The latest match that's going to go down November 14th in the State Farm.
But again, I'm going to knock this guy out and probably create one of the most viral knockouts in the history of boxing.
You've seen plenty of hype in boxing before, but few buildups have spiraled into this kind of chaos. Jake Paul stormed into the spotlight, brimming with confidence, vowing to deliver a finish so brutal it would shake the entire sport. His promise wasn't delivered with hesitation. It was bold, brash, and unapologetic, the kind of statement designed to make headlines. Yet the reaction wasn't a wave of unanimous excitement. For every cheer, there was a groan. For every believer, there was a critic calling it a circus before the opening bell even rang. Paulie Malignaggi was among the first to sharpen the knives. This is a circus, dude. This is a sad, absolute circus. This is like the Roman circus where they say, give them bread in circuses and distract them. Like, this is just one of those complete distractions from reality. His words didn't just cut at Jake Paul. They went for the jugular of the entire event, framing it as theater disguised as sport. To Malignaggi, this wasn't boxing, it was a sideshow, feeding fans sugar instead of substance. Things only got murkier when the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission flat out refused to sanction the fight, a decision that instantly fueled the narrative that this was more stunt than sport. Instead of collapsing, the spectacle shifted to Miami, a move that only amplified the controversy. And then came the press conference. If it wasn't strange enough already, Jake poured gasoline on the fire. He bent down into Gervonta Tank Davis's face, mocked his height, and turned the stare down into open disrespect. The crowd erupted, and the atmosphere instantly shifted from hype to hostility. Malignaggi, who already dismissed the fight as a circus, doubled down after watching the presser. The press conference was a little weird yesterday. It was all weird. It was awkward. Why they got to make it so weird, Jimmy? Why they make it weird, bro? Why do they make it weird all the time? It was strange all the way around. Who's this appealing to? Who do you think the target market is? Freak show. His rant captured the disconnect perfectly. To some, it was boxing's next big event. To others, it was a bad comedy show dressed in gloves. Trainer Robert Garcia saw it as even worse, a betrayal of the sport. He ripped into Tank Davis for even entertaining the fight.
Love the tape. Gervonta Tank Davis, granted, a very, very skilled boxer, a world champion. He's had some great wins. He's had a tremendous career. He's got 28 knockouts on his record. I'm just looking at the tail of the tape here. 30 years old, Jake Paul, 28. Gervonta Davis is 5'5" tall, whereas Jake Paul is 6'1". I would never dream on picking on a guy that is 5'5" tall. Granted, there's some tough guys out there that are 5'5", okay? They're smaller guys, you know, but for 5'5", they'll pack a good punch. Typically, they're mixed martial artists or boxers, yeah. But when you're a boxer that's 6'1", that's only had one loss on the record, of course, Tommy Fury, doesn't want to face him again. Picking on a guy that small would be laughable. It would be embarrassing.
Oh, absolutely. Tank's going to be the one surviving. I'm going to, upset a lot of people. And again, they're going to have to say that there's some crazy excuse, fights are rigged. They can't use the steroid excuse because we have full-on random drug testing at any time. They could literally knock on my door right now. So they can't use that excuse. And obviously I'm suing people who say that the fights are rigged. Piers Morgan already had to retract his statement and kiss the ring. More lawsuits are coming for these people who are lying on my name because it's just simply not true, and we're willing to prove that in court. But I'm actually flattered that the only thing that people can chalk up these wins to is that the fights are rigged, because it's honestly the greatest Yeah, no, I'm locked in. I know this is my toughest fight. He's undefeated, highly skilled, most experienced fighter I've fought, top 5 pound for pound. So I have to have the best version of myself. I know how fast he is. I know how strong he is. I believe I'm stronger, more athletic, and that's my advantage going into the fight, but he pretty much has every other advantage. So I'm locked in, fully focused, feeling amazing already, and just going to put on a performance and have the biggest fight of 2020.
What don't you understand about this? If you want respect from your peers, if you want everyone on the planet to look at you and take you seriously and give you credit as a boxer, you have to take on challenges that are real. You have to go up against someone that keeps you up at night, against someone that gets you out of bed in the morning to go for a run because the fear of them beating you down is real. Not going up against someone that is so small. If you were to go up to this guy in a bar and try and start a fight with them, people would look at you and say one word: whoa, 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 stop being such a bully. Leave him alone. You are way bigger than this guy. And that's clearly what we have here. It is ridiculous.
Insisting he should have been focused elsewhere. It's actually embarrassing just to see what Tank chose to do, instead of doing what a real fighter should have done. Roach deserved to be champion. He should have given him that rematch. That fight is the one that should be happening. For Garcia, this wasn't greatness, it was a paycheck in disguise. Michael Bisping, never one to hold back, attacked Jake's matchmaking strategy directly. Because I always said he's looking for fights that were manufactured, looking for fights that were predetermined, where the odds are so stacked in his favor that of course he's going to win. Then he zeroed in on the obvious, the absurd size difference. Gervonta Tank Davis, 135 pounds. Jake Paul, 227.2 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92 pounds weight difference. Almost 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. To Bisping, this wasn't competition, it was bullying under bright lights. But Jake brushed off the criticism, leaning into the narrative of danger. Yeah, I know, I'm locked in, and I know this is my toughest fight. He's undefeated, highly skilled, most experienced fighter I've fought, top 5 pound for pound. So, I have to have the best version of myself.
I mean, there's money involved. Jake Paul is a social media star. In other words, in essence, he's an attention whore. It's just what it is. It's not that he's a professional attention whore. Great promoter though. I'll give him his credit, what he's doing for the ladies and stuff. Amanda Serrano is long overdue the attention she's been getting as of late. And shout out to all the ladies that's getting a chance. Yeah, Tank. No matter, Tank is what, 31 years old. Deep down, he's still that kid that came up real rough in Baltimore. If he feels like somebody's trying to hurt him or take something from him, he gonna do what he got to do. He gonna do what he got to do. He gonna do what he know how to do. And I mean, Jake's a big boy. He probably not gonna have no problem. Tank's probably not gonna have a problem trying to hit him as hard as he can because he probably thinks I gotta hit this Bama because he's too big.
Yeah.
He's too big. I can't let him just press me out like that. But I mean, like I said, I don't know. It's a circus. It's a circus.
I don't even know what to think right now. I don't even know what to think. Maybe Tank has an unreal boxing ability and Jake Paul is really big. But the last time I said somebody was going to be bigger, they weren't that much bigger. But I think in this case, somebody's actually a lot bigger.
And, so promoter Jake Paul has my respect. Fighter Jake Paul, not as much, just because, I mean, bro, you say one thing when you do another. You can make these fights. You the money. You the money. Any of those guys in the cruiserweights in the top 15 would fight you just because they know they'll get some money. You know what I mean? But I mean, this is stuff you want to do. Hey, look.
Great matchup. It's fun for the sport of boxing. It makes it fun. It makes it entertaining. That's what it's all about. And may the best man win. It's an exhibition regardless.
We got Jake Paul and Tank about to do a rematch. I mean, do an exhibition or whatever. Boxing's just in a crazy place right now, where a world-ranked cruiserweight says he wants to fight tougher fights is about to fight a lightweight. You know what I mean? So, whatever.
He flipped the script by insisting Tank would be the one surviving on fight night, dismissing claims that his career has been manufactured with hand-picked opponents. Not everyone is convinced. Mikal Fox rolled his eyes, calling it flat out a circus, more spectacle than sport. Teofimo Lopez, on the other hand, took a lighter view, framing it as fun for the sport, even if it didn't pass the purist's sniff test. Raleigh Romero? He was caught in the middle, admitting he wasn't sure what to think. Tank's skills are elite, but Jake's sheer size advantage could change the equation. And that's the madness of it all. You're left staring at a storm of hype, hostility, and unanswered questions. Is this a genuine fight, a test of skill against power, or is it simply another viral spectacle packaged as boxing? Can Tank's technique, timing, and pound-for-pound pedigree really erase nearly a 100-pound weight disadvantage? Or will Jake's power, size, and promotional savvy bulldoze right over the criticism? Whatever happens, one thing's undeniable. The sport is watching. Whether it ends in disaster or shock, whether it proves genius or farce, this fight has already succeeded in the one arena. Jake Paul always thrives in capturing attention.